And we are live, people. Welcome to the stream. I feel like it's been a little bit of time since I've done a stream that wasn't particularly dedicated to something. Like I feel like a lot of the streams I've done lately with the watch party or with Spider-Man have been very like we're talking about this subject. And it's been a while since I've done just like a really laid back kind of relaxed like let's just chit chat one. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we hit 2,000 subscribers quite a while ago, back in October actually. Thank you so much for that. And while I don't want this to be like the only thing I do to celebrate, I'm thinking there's going to be a little bit more free time in my schedule in a couple weeks, and I'm hoping to do something a little bit more extravagant then, kind of do something along with the Christmas holiday. But for now, I really did just want to kind of come on here and just chit chat with you guys. I'm tired of doing homework for the day, and before I maybe either get back to the homework grind or like start waiting for Hawkeye episode 3 to come out, I just figured we could come on here and chat. Plus, there's a couple of things lately that have come out that I haven't had a chance due to like my personal schedule or like YouTube videos I needed to go up that I haven't made a video about, such as the Euphoria season 2 trailer came out, and I'm so sad. I was literally driving home for Thanksgiving break and the trailer dropped, and by the time I got home, I was like with family, and then it had been several hours since it had come out, and I was like, you know what? Like the opportunity has come and gone. I've missed the window for this. So like didn't do that one. And then a couple people commented on my Hawkeye watch party that a first look at Jurassic Park Dominion had come out, which I'm not the biggest like Jurassic Park fan, but that's exciting that that came out. And then there was also a like teaser trailer for Jurassic World, or no, not Jurassic World. Oh my gosh, This Is Us. And then it was Thanksgiving, so we just have a lot to talk about, guys. And you guys are showing up. Welcome to the stream. 123 Rock Fan is here. 123 Rock Fan, I hope you are doing fantastic as well. Honestly, for anyone and everyone who's either in high school or college or just working and has the stress of like the excitement for the holiday season, but like other obligations going on and a lot of responsibilities and tasks at this time, sending you guys all the best of vibes and like good wishes because I'm in the midst of it too, and so like we can all hang out together. That's partially why I needed to create the stream. I'd been working on a presentation about Seinfeld, I will say, so a fun presentation. But I'm working on a presentation for my TV history class about Seinfeld for like 2 hours and was like, you know what, I need a break. Watched basically all of season 5, which most of it I'd seen before, but season 5 is solid. Anyways, not what we're talking about. Code 02K is here. Welcome to the stream. Once you rock fan, you flatter me. You guys are just amazing. You come in droves to my channel, and it's sort of like, I don't want to say overwhelming in a bad way by any means. It's just like it's so much to process that like you guys continually watch my videos. It's so I say it probably way too much to the point where it sounds disingenuous, but I really mean it. Like it does mean a lot to like see the views on every video and all that kind of stuff. Which, speaking of new videos, I did just post like maybe 30 minutes before this, maybe not even 30 minutes before this, a Hawkeye character breakdown. And I filmed it before the first 2 episodes came out, but obviously I edited it the last several days after the episodes have come out. So it's like up to date, if you will, with what the information we have in the TV show is. So you notice some errors in what I'm saying, but I've corrected it on text. Anyways, you can go check that out either if the stream gets boring or, afterwards if you want to. But Ricardo, shout out to Brazil. Thank you so much for watching from Brazil. That's amazing. I appreciate it. Jack, thank you so much. Alex, yes, happy Hawkeye Eve. For those of you who don't know, I am doing watch parties. I know that sounds crazy to just add to the holiday season, but you know what? Like getting the episodes out of the way at 2:30 in the morning, kind of nice actually, because then you wake up, you film the review, you already have your thoughts in your head, and bam, like you're done several hours before when I would get my Loki stuff up. So I will be having a watch party at 2:30 this morning. In what is that, 8 hours from now? Almost 7. We will be having a watch party. I'll go live at 2:30ish. I think the episodes usually come out at 3. Last time they came out about 10 minutes early. So we'll see. But yeah, come join me if you'd like to. If not, totally no pressure, totally no worries. I know that's kind of crazy. Sabrina is here. Sabrina, I hope you're doing great, girl. It's been a few days since we've texted and back and forth, but I miss you and I hope you're doing great. And just I don't know, we've been talking about the stress and just the excitement of the holiday season and also fangirling about Kate Bishop and Adam Driver as we normally do. So, Sabrina, thanks so much for coming by the stream. Okay, we have a first question. WaTV asks, "Hey, which Marvel do you like more? Normal Marvel like Hawkeye, cosmic Marvel, or world building Marvel?" That is a great question. I think the lead okay, it really comes down to movies because I would say my most favorite movies are either the world building or normal. So like whatever I would consider in the same category Iron Man 3, Captain America Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, even to some extent Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then like elements of WandaVision because I liked that a little bit more because it was experimental, not necessarily the cosmic elements I didn't like as much. And I do love Black Panther, but like I think cosmic stuff, like I can really like I love the original Guardians of the Galaxy. I do really I like kind of all the Thor movies. I just, Ragnarok would be my favorite. But I would say maybe world building because I'm guessing that you're proposing as like an in between. And I would say like the Spider-Man movies are like the best because they're sort of ground level. Like it's not cosmic, but at the same time, it's not like I don't know, Hawkeye. Obviously, Hawkeye's my favorite character, and I personally do like him and Natasha as like a duo because of how kind of just how down to earth it all feels. And like I do love Sam Wilson and like I don't know. I think at my core I like I like the ground level Marvel. I think when it just comes to the cosmic stuff and people are a little too OP, if you know what I'm saying, that's where I kind of lose it a little bit. Jester, welcome to the stream. I I am thinking about making a video either to post like kind of at the end of finals week of like the projects I've been doing lately for my classes. Like I'm so grateful I've been able to study what I studied in college. I do feel sometimes I'm like, ooh, job wise, maybe wasn't the most secure route. These are things you have to face your own mortality with at the end of college. But I love it. And I think it makes me really good at doing what I do on YouTube, not to toot my own horn, but like I love it. And the projects I've worked on lately, we did make fan texts, like a fan video, a fan cam, a fan fiction, whatever, for one of my classes. And so I made a Natasha Romanoff fan cam, and I made I titled the video "Sexiest Ant-Man Alive," and it was a vid of uh Paul Rudd as Scott Lang and Ant-Man, set to Justin Timberlake's "Sexy Back." This sounds like just something I did for fun. I swear to goodness, it was for my degree. But I was thinking if you guys would be interested. Some of it, I wouldn't be able to like monetize it, but I thought it'd just kind of be fun to like throw it all together and do it. I don't know. The Seinfeld one is, I'll be honest, it's a little thrown together. Canva, ladies and gents, if you want to make a cute looking presentation or make it look really professional, their templates, like you can just copy and paste elements and change them up for yourself, and it is the best way to create a PowerPoint, in my opinion. Especially one if you want to have like a nice visual presentation. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but if you guys would be interested in seeing like what I did with my degree, since I might need to show it on the internet to be like a virtual resume, let me know. Yes, I'm super pumped for Christmas. This time of year is it's my favorite time of year, but it's also like I don't know. I'm really bad at like finding balance in things of like don't stress and just like be happy and all that kind of stuff, and just trying to manage all of those emotions. And this year, every Christmas, my birthday is 2 weeks before Christmas exactly. So there's Christmas shopping, there's finals, and then I graduate this December. So just cherry on top for the stress of the season. Movies and Train Studios is here, so is Cassidy. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. What are your thoughts on Marvel grabbing someone from the Conjuring universe finally? I assume you're speaking of Vera Farmiga. I'm not a fan of horror movies in general, and I have never seen any of the Conjuring. I think I saw Insidious 3. A friend of mine in high school took me along, use proper grammar, took me along with her to go see that one. I think it's great to get amazing caliber actors, and Vera Farmiga is incredible. I love Eleanor Bishop. I think she portrays her so well, and I really am liking that character and role and all that. Also, just can we address the fact that my hair looks like Hermione Granger in like Chamber of Secrets today, except like the bob version of it, because yeah, that's just what we're dealing with today. So I think it's a great like casting choice. I just don't have much more of an opinion as far as The Conjuring is concerned. Rewatching Seinfeld, yes, it needs more love, guys. If you want to watch Seinfeld, it's perfect because it's like the uh antithesis to like normal sitcoms. Instead of being about a family, it's about a group of four friends. They're kind of really dumb and kind of honestly in some ways have bad qualities, but they play really funny and they just observe like normal everyday humor the way Jerry Seinfeld's humor career is. But it's if you're not a friend, not a fan of like something like Friends, where like the characters, this sounds bad because this is how most TV shows are taught to be written, but like in Seinfeld, the characters never like progress anywhere. They never really like. There's not upward mobility in their jobs. Like they sure new things happen to them, but they almost always like start back at square one by the end of the season. Like there's no lessons involved. It's like as everyone says, a quote unquote show about nothing. And so it's really great. It is on Netflix. I just watched through any of the episodes in season 5 that I had never seen because that's specifically like what I did my presentation on. But it's so good. There's a reason why it's considered one of the greatest comedy series of all time. And it's one of those two that you really don't need to watch like season 1 and 2. Like I am very big defender of like seasons 1 and 2 of The Office and Parks and Rec because I think they needed to gain their footing comedically. And a lot of comedy shows actually are kind of like that. Like you kind of just has to grow in you. But I think Seinfeld's format is pretty similar from the pilot like through to the finale. It's just that it found its footing a little bit more, and once it found an audience, like you could kind of build off of that. So if you like relatable humor, if you like kind of just sitcom funny shows and you don't want to have to like pay attention to every second of the episode, go watch Seinfeld. I am like going, yes, it's a Festivus for the rest of us. Go watch the Festivus episode if you want to be in a good mood. And then once you go watch it and make your family and friends watch it, go to TJ Maxx because they always have Seinfeld and Friends and Office socks and board games and puzzles. And then there's your whole Christmas shopping done. You're welcome. I simplified it for you. Which, speaking of, and I know I'm really behind, what are your guys' thoughts on gift guides? I've seen them be very popularized in blogs and articles and opinion pieces lately, but I've also seen them on YouTube, and I myself am actually a pretty bad gift giver. I think there's usually only one or two people who I like absolutely nail the present of, and I'm like, this is a great gift. But when it like certain people I have a really hard time buying for, and I feel like if there's things that I kind of want, but I could put into the universe for other people who might be into the similar interest, maybe Marvel fans, Star Wars fans, let me know if there's certain things that you would want like a specific gift guide for. I asked on my Instagram earlier today about that, but if there of anything, leave it in the comments here or anything, or like this video, or we'll just like this video in general. Spitballing here. But anyways, if you're into if gift guides would be helpful for like wannabe filmmakers, for film lovers, for Marvel fans, for Star Wars fans, for like the indie type movie person, let me know. Because I like shopping when I don't actually have to spend money. And that's what I feel like gift guides allow us to do is like, oh, that would be so nice to have. So just let me know if you want to see those. Let's see, opinions on the High School Musical, the musical that I haven't even gotten to talk about this. I briefly like reposted the post on my Instagram. I am thrilled. Like you have no idea because there definitely was a small part of me, guys, that was like the show's never coming back. We're never going to see it again. And that's just it. Hold on. This is bothering me that it's like on my There we go. It's not on my chin anymore. That was like bugging me for some reason. Okay. Super psyched. I love that it's Frozen. I don't know why I never thought that it was going to be Frozen before. Like that seems like such an obvious choice in retrospect. and yet we were all like spitballing. I say we all, I'm talking about myself, like The Greatest Showman or something, like, or Hamilton. Like, obviously Frozen makes the most sense. Anyways, so I am thrilled. I am so excited. I hope it ends in like the last couple of days of school, almost like High School Musical 2 does, and then goes to their summer camp. Also, the fact that it's going to be set in summer, but they're going to be doing the Frozen, like the comedy writing in that show, I will stand by. It's no Seinfeld, but it is fantastic. Fantastic humor. Yes, Grogu was my favorite part of the parade. Okay, listen, I'm a huge, huge Macy's Thanksgiving Day fan. Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade fan. I watch it every year. It's probably like, other than the stuffing, it is my like highlight of my Thanksgiving. And so was so excited, and I love the fact that they had his little bauble like ball that he's always trying to get. So cute. I cannot wait for the Mandalorian to return. Like, I forget how much I miss that show when it's not on. And now it's been a year since we've had episodes. Greetings to Argentina. I saw that Messi won his 7th ball. I don't know exactly how to pronounce the award, but there was a soccer awards that went on yesterday in Paris that Tom Holland and Zendaya were at. And so congratulations to Lionel Messi. I love the man. I really do. Do I think Kingpin will appear before Hawkeye? I'm split on this because it's obvious that Marvel is really trying to use the I don't want to use multiverse because I don't think multiverse will really come into play in Hawkeye. I am thinking that he may appear. Um what am I trying to say here? I think Marvel is trying to make a very intentional decision to consolidate a lot of their assets as older and favorite characters are leaving. They're trying to find new ways to bring in new characters, and part of those they want to be like not known actors and actresses so that the budgets for paying them are lower, because paying someone like a Jeremy Renner or Scarlett Johansson is going to be a lot more expensive to have them in a Marvel movie than even say Haley Steinfeld or potentially someone like Anna Cox, who is brand new to acting. And so I think when it comes to that, I think they're trying to consolidate their IP. And we saw it in WandaVision. They were very intentionally playing up the fact that the Fox merger had just gone through and that we were waiting for X-Men, and using Evan Peters, Peter Maximoff, bringing him in as Pietro. That was very intentional. So I would, and I'm pretty on the fence, leaning more towards Matt Murdock is going to be in No Way Home. Listen, I know there's stuff that's online. I know people have been like, you can't not confirm this, or like, this is real. I've tried to stay away from a lot of that stuff. I am planning a video about some of my hesitancies towards Spider-Man Home soon, Spider-Man No Way Home. So be on the lookout for those. But basically, that was my long answer. My short answer is I would not be surprised if he shows up, but I'm not banking on it. The only thing that makes me think he's in it is the like kind of cheeky tweet from the actor that plays him. Sorry, I'm really behind. I'm gonna try to catch up. Am I gonna watch the Sex and the City sequel show? I actually just started watching Sex and the City because I was like, there are all these shows that you hear about throughout like TV history, and let me just put it this way, the class I took this semester was not, it didn't give me all of the TV history I wanted. So I've kind of been seeking out a couple shows on my own to like watch episodes or just sort of see what it was about. And so I started watching Sex and the City. I really actually liked it. I did not expect to. I thought, it's gonna be cheesy, whatever. But I do really love kind of a good like rom-com. And I did watch all 6 seasons of Girls, and this is arguably a much better version of that. Or Girls is the like pointing out the flaws of millennials version of Sex and the City. Anyways, I think I will probably watch it. I just probably won't watch it like right when it releases because I don't know if I'll be caught up on Sex and the City. I've also never seen any of the movies, but I've heard the TV show is better than the movies. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Fave Spidey, Tom Holland. Sorry. Did I get No Way Home tickets? I did not buy No Way Home tickets. My graduation is two-parter, and it is the 16th and the 17th. So I don't know when, if, how much time I'm gonna have to go see the movie in those 2 days, so I did not get tickets, plus, fingers crossed, I didn't have problems getting Avengers: Endgame tickets in my area, like, a week or 2 weeks before the movie came out, so I'm gonna wait until those go on sale at my local theaters and then see. If not, like, I really wanna see it, but I'll probably log out of Twitter and maybe even Instagram over those 2 days anyways, because 'cause I'll be so busy. So we'll see. I do not have tickets currently, though, no. I also, and no offense to anyone that did, you guys are brave souls, and I commend you for it. I was not gonna wait in a digital line. I was not gonna do that. It was late. I was like, "Nope, I'm not waiting for this." Brandon is here. Brandon, I hope you're having a great day. I know we've chatted a lot recently, but I hope life is going good. And you saw Don't Look Up. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very excited to see your review when it comes out. I'm excited to see that one. I'm very excited to see that one. Less than a week to West Side Story. Okay, I'll be honest with this one. I was talking to a friend about this today. Not that I'm not interested in seeing the movie. I've never seen the first West Side Story, and I know it's like a take on Romeo and Juliet, which sometimes I think is an overrated story. Sometimes I think is like, oh, it's great. No, I get why it's come around. Like why it's so popular. I think I'm just not that like okay, like it's Steven Spiel. I don't know. Like I'm not that is that bad? Is that a hot take? I'm not that excited for it. I think it's gonna I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be in the awards conversation. I'm excited to see Rita Moreno in it because I am a huge fan of hers from her character in Jane the Virgin and One Day at a Time. So I'm excited to eventually see it, but I'm not gonna be racing to go see it, if that makes any sense. Michaela finished American Animals. Ooh, sounds intriguing. Gonna have to check that out. What you up to? Just live streaming, just doing this, just chatting and all that kind of stuff. Jason, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great day, man. Yes, Sabrina, I missed you. Yes. What am I most excited to see in the upcoming episodes of Hawkeye? Okay, I said this in my live stream. I am pretty convinced we're gonna see Yelena in this episode. I'm most excited, quite honestly, to see Aleko Cox. I stalked her Instagram today. I think she unfortunately her father passed away today, and so sending my thoughts and prayers to her and her family. And it's so sad because she's gonna be featured in this next episode, I think, pretty heavily. I think this episode is gonna be the car chase one, but I kind of have a feeling that Yelena's gonna show up in this one. I could be wrong, but I feel like to be a series regular, you have to be in at least half the series, and there will be 3 episodes after this, so, like, I don't know, I feel like she's gotta pop up soon, right? So, I'm most excited to see Maya Lopez, Echo, and then I'm really interested to see the conversation with Jack Duquesne, finally figured out how to say his name, and Clint, because there's a scene where I initially thought it was Derek Bishop, but it's Eleanor and Jack on one side of the table and Kate and Clint. And if you watched my character breakdown, I'll spoil it for you guys, so now you don't have to go watch it. I will also timestamp that. Sorry, I forgot to do that when I uploaded it. But I think what am I trying to say? I in the comics, Jack is Clint's mentor, and so he would have like recognized him. So I don't know either if Clint is gonna play a game and they're just gonna keep it secret from the other two, or what is going on there. You know? So that's what I'm interested to see. That's Sabrina. I'm also super excited to see the car chase. Cause the shots, oh, the way the camera girl, you would appreciate this because that whole like leave the cinematography to the men. I don't think so. The like swooping camera. Oh, I am so excited to see that in action because it's gonna be awesome. Ooh, my favorite superhero love interests. Not a fan of Betty Ross, not a fan of Mary Jane. Of those, Pepper, but I really love Peggy Carter. And I really love hmm. Sam doesn't really have a love interest, Bucky doesn't really have a love interest. I do like MJ, but I don't like her the way like I obviously like Pepper and Peggy. Um I used to like Jane Foster, but I don't anymore. And oh, this is easy. Laura Barton. Sorry, this is gonna be. Oh, Sasha, you're just all you want to talk about is Hawkeye now. But no. No, she is a mother. She accepted the fact that her husband was sort of a mass murderer for a while. She has three children. She was also best friends with her husband, having a girl best friend who is also an assassin. She's kind of the perfect wife, honestly, and what I aspire to be. She's amazing. She's just chilling, like knowing her husband's in danger, being like, "You got it, sweetie. Like, come home for Christmas." Like, I'm obsessed with her. I'm obsessed with her. But then I would say Peggy Carter and then Pepper Potts. The only reason Pepper goes down, and this is not a fault of Pepper, this is a fault of Gwyneth Paltrow not knowing which freaking MCU movies she's in. But yeah. Spoder, welcome to the stream. Welcome. If this is your first one, welcome. We're having some chill vibes today. I finally feel like I have the hang of streaming and don't like panic. And I can kind of, take my time. I probably talk still very fast, but what is my favorite movie of all time? My favorite movie of all time is La La Land, without a doubt. I have like a top 5 favorite movies that I'm very confident in. But if I had to say like I had one true comfort movie, because like I love this movie, but I also go to this movie in the last 10-20 minutes if I just want to like sob, like I just need a cathartic cry, I'll go to this movie. But in terms of like a comfort movie, that's where I think Crazy Stupid Love, I would argue, is more of a comfort movie for me. I also really love The Proposal, which I forgot I loved for so long until till now. And then what other comfort movies? I have a bunch. I need to take a picture of it sometime. I have a bunch of fake Polaroid type things above my bed of movies. Um like some of my favorite movies, and I really love Crazy Rich Asians, but I wouldn't necessarily call that a comfort movie. Some of them I've like never rewatched because I've been watching a lot of new movies recently. I literally can't tell what the rest of those are. I would say, what I would say a really good comfort movie of mine is Knives Out. Great, fantastic movie. I think one of the best of 2019. There was obviously Endgame and Rise of Skywalker, which I loved both. But yeah, love Legally Blonde too. Like Elle Woods is, I said at the beginning of 2021, I was like, this is my year of Elle Woods confidence. Like, I'm going about it. Let's see. Movies and Trains is posting on YouTube. That's dumb. I'm sorry you got blocked from live streaming. Don't worry about it. YouTube is very fickle. But congratulations. I have actually watched some of your videos. They're great. So everyone go check out Movies and Train Studios. Yes, this was another thing that has happened recently. 3 more movies. Josh Simpson from what is Josh's film no, After Credits. Josh from After Credits and I were DMing on Instagram today about how I'm excited because I love Tom Holland Spider-Man. I think the hardest part about bringing Spider-Man into the MCU is now you can't just switch it around and change actors. My worry was that Tom was sort of like seeming like he wants a little bit of a break from doing these movies, and obviously he's an up and coming actor, but like if you stay as Spider-Man a little too long and you get like the boy wonder type role cast upon you, like can you do other things? Now he's been very intentional about his other roles, and specifically like Cherry, like that's very anti Spider-Man, like clean, oh I just stabbed myself in the eye, clean like boy wonder type role. But like I wanted more movies. So then for them to get the announcement that we're going to have more movies is very exciting. My only fear, and this is what I said to Josh, was like I would rather them give one more movie and go one at a time more than be promised 3, because my fear is that what if they go through 1 or even 2 and then they like creatively there's differences, or Tom decides he doesn't want to do anymore or whatever, and then they completely quit. Now, my they said Spider-Man trilogy, and I have to believe he would be in a few more movies, but I feel like 3 more movies, each probably at, like, 2-ish years apart, that's 6 to 7, if not 8 years from now. Like, he's gonna be a little bit older, so at that point, I'm hoping that they've developed whatever they're gonna do with Young Avengers or whatever they're building towards next. I hope that they've done it by that point. I'm excited. Personally, I just wanna be excited about it, and if it goes awry, it won't be the first time that a Spider-Man movies were promised and then did not deliver. So, that is it. That is what I'm thinking about it thus far. Movie I like watching during Christmas time that is not Christmas themed. Um, oh, like, okay, the movie I would say, and I've only seen it once, again, 2019 was a banger year for movies. It just really was. Like, honestly, even without the pandemic, like, in 2020, I don't know that it could have compared to what 2019 was in movie year. Hustlers is a movie. Now it is sort of set at Christmas, or there's a Christmas scene. Fantastic movie. I wouldn't say I watch it every Christmas because I definitely have only seen it once. I do own it now. But I would say there's that, or I feel like Toy Story is just kind of like one that will go on with me and I'm trying to think of things I watch with my parents or my brother around this time of year. Um, I mean, it's mostly Christmas movies. That's a really great question. I just really don't have a good answer. Um, my fave Spider-Man love interest, sorry to MJ, but it is Gwen Stacy. I love Gwen Stacy. Um, I loved Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy. I knew the moment I saw the like on-set photos of her in that outfit, I was like, she is gone. She's done. They're killing her off. And I would have been interested to see Mary Jane. Shailene Woodley was supposed to play her in that trilogy. Don't know if that would have been the best casting. I don't know if her and Andrew would have. I still don't know. Like here's the thing. In a lot of ways, and this is going to come across very bad, I'm very glad that they never made an Amazing Spider-Man 3 because those movies are the first two are so central on him and Gwen's relationship that they were like there was no way they could make a third one without her, in my opinion. Like say the same thing where it's gonna happen, but they were just gonna put Shailene Woodley as the new love interest. I just don't think that would have gone as well. And in that sense, I like Zendaya's MJ because I feel like she combines elements of she she's like quirky and the awkward teenaged girlfriend in the way that Gwen could kind of be, but she's a little bit more assured of herself in the way I think Mary Jane is portrayed in the comics. But I really don't like Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane. I think she's annoying. I think there's never actually any threat on her life, and then also the fact that like he doesn't want to like tell her she's Spider-Man, but she still gets snatched by Spider-Man's villains every time. And it was like that was the whole central conflict of Spider-Man 2, which is why I don't get why people like Spider-Man 2 that much, is it's like he doesn't want to tell his girlfriend that he's Spider-Man to protect her, but like she keeps getting snatched away anyways. And so that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyways, that's my little rant on Mary Jane. I really like MJ, but Gwen will always be my favorite. Ben, what is going on? Yeah, I know it's literally so close. Heard great things of the premiere. Excited for that. I'm glad that there's good reviews. I'm always happy for good movies. I feel like I'm just gonna go see West Side Story and be like, it was good. That's it. Like I'm not. If I come out of the theater and I'm wowed, obviously I'll be the first one again to like admit that I was wrong or I like should have been more excited. I think I'm just all of my hype is kind of reserved for each new episode of Hawkeye and for Spider-Man No Way Home at this point, I think. Yes, Movies and Trains. This movie messed me up to this day. I don't think I would ever rewatch it again, even though I'm sure there's some really great analysis that could be done on it. I'm just not not ready to look at that. My watching the Harry Potter 20th anniversary tomorrow on HBO Max. Oh, I didn't realize that comes out tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Um, I probably won't have time to watch it tomorrow, honestly. So knowing my schedule, I will probably watch it at some point. Probably I will watch it at some point. I just don't know when. Um, let's see. Festivus, George is getting very angry. I didn't realize this until recently, but George is written to be Larry David. Like, Larry David wrote George as, like, a version of himself, which I think is so funny because then there's a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where they do a Seinfeld reunion, and then they joke that, like, Jason Alexander, who plays George Costanza, can't be there, and so Larry's like, "Well, I wrote him based on me, so let me just, like, play him," and he plays him terribly, and it's just I love George Costanza. I love all of the characters in Seinfeld, I really do. Give me all the gift guides. Yes, I'm terrible at gifting people. I think about ways that I have something in common with someone and then think about, like, what I would wanna receive. This is where I feel like with love languages, I need to be a little bit more cognizant of, like, how someone else receives love or that I'm not making sense. Basically, I just am really bad about gift giving because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I would like that, so I bet they would too." And it's like, maybe they wanted not a Funko Pop, maybe they wanted, I don't know, like, something else. I'm not sure. I'm just bad, and I wanna be better at it, and so I don't know. I don't know. Plus, I feel like it's hard because I always buy gifts for the same people in my life. Not that there's anything wrong with that, like, I'm very grateful to have consistent people in my life that, like, I would want to be doing, gifting for, but I, after so many years, like, specifically my boyfriend, like, you run out of just the generic, like, a watch, yep, a wallet, yep, like, okay, what other ideas do we have, you know, like, and that's where I get in a little bit of a rut. An MCU gift guide, that's the one I think would be the most, like, that I could figure out the most naturally and put it at, like, several different price points, but I have a generic one and a Marvel one in mind, but I think I could pretty easily make a Star Wars or, like, a couple others, sorta thing. Um, Chris Columbus should never be allowed to adapt any more material after the atrocities that were the Percy Jackson movies. I can't say that was completely his fault, and the first 2 Harry Potter movies absolutely slaps, certified bops, both of them, but Chris Columbus, the director, I would not be cool with maybe he could get Harry Potter down better, but, I don't know. I don't Here's the thing, I'm totally fine with reunion specials for things, like the Friends one. I just don't wanna see I don't wanna see those characters once something is over be then, like, reapplied to something. Plus, like, to me, The Cursed Child has its own cast for a specific reason and to be a specific purpose, and I just don't know that I'd wanna see n could just be me, though. Could just be me, though. Um, mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Yeah, this is something I think about pretty regularly, Cassidy. How long? Where's the end game? Where's the end game for the rest of it? Because I just feel like I feel like it's I don't know, and I don't wanna be cynical. I think I look at it as this, anything beyond Avengers Endgame that contained Infinity Saga is like a gift that I am ready to kind of take on, like, just accept kind of blindly for whatever it is. I think it's gonna continue to go on, like, nothing can be perfect forever, the MCU is never perfect, it was always gonna leave at some point, and, I don't know. I don't know if it'll go on forever because, like, then, like, what are we gonna do? Is it gonna Am I gonna be, like, a 50-year-old woman taking my kids to go see, like, the 3rd person to ever play Iron Man or take on the Iron Man suit and then or the 50th Spider-Man at that point? Because 'cause let's be honest, and then, like, Robert Downey Jr.'s, like, Force Ghost is gonna come out, like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. I don't know. I think the oh, the beauty of the MCU is that maybe it won't last forever. I think Here's what I think happens. After anything, God forbid, I'm not wishing this on anyone, please don't take this the wrong way. God forbid anything ever happens to Kevin Feige, or if one day he just retires, is no longer making these movies, that is when I think this will be done. But then someone's gonna use the concept. I mean, Netflix, and this is something else I want to make a video about. I have so many video ideas right now and so little time to do it all. People, oh my gosh, 1 second. I talk so much, and anyways, I people have already used the MCU model for other things. The Netflix Christmas universe, which is a real thing. There's a video they posted last year describing their characters with the Marvel counterparts so that you can think through like, oh, the equivalent of it. So like this model is going to continue to be used. I just don't know how long Marvel's will continue going. But also they have so much money and so much power that like why would they ever need to stop too? Anyways, great question. Max, hello there. Welcome to the stream. Braden says you should do a review of a short film called Flynn. Braden, I would love to. If you're cool with that, I would 100% do it. Flynn is a student film I worked on. What was it, like a month ago? No, 2-3 weeks ago or something. Braden is a really good friend of mine, and we filmed his film Flynn. I saw it as like a basically like no dialogue short film last semester that was like literally a minute long, and now it's like 5 minutes long, and it was a thing. It went from a script to a finished product, and like it's so fulfilling. If you ever want to make movies, get a bunch of your friends together, write something, and just go film it, and like you will learn so much of the process and have absolutely so much fun because like we did. Anyways, so Braden, I don't think you're still watching, but if you are, come and or let me know and I will screen it. That would be so fun. I really really love the final product. It's awesome. This is about the Mace Thanksgiving Day Parade. I totally agree. Like sometimes they'll bring out rappers, or this year they brought up a K-pop band, and I don't really follow K-pop, but I feel like culturally aware enough to know that I don't think they weren't BTS or Blackpink level. And so it was sort of weird that it was like like it was literally like 10:30 in the morning in New York City, and like these girls are doing this very choreographed dance, which like great for them. Like it's got to be so cool to perform in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. But I feel like it's so awkward to then just have them do like singing these songs that have nothing to do. Like there's always the people who are singing the Christmas song for their new Christmas album, and I think that's very, like, fitting and appropriate, but yeah, it definitely is, like, a family thing, and, anyways, very interesting. Um, my favorite live action is Tom Holland. I really love Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and luckily we live in a world where both of them will always exist and we'll always get to watch them, but Tom Holland is my favorite. I think he merges what my idea of Peter Parker is best with my idea of Spider-Man and makes it feel realistic, and I also think as a newcomer to a very established MCU at that point, I think it fits within that world while still maintaining all of the things I need Spider-Man to be. And you know what? Again, hot take, unpopular opinion. I Spider-Man exists in the MCU for a reason. Everyone is like the Shanice Yamuth is moving a lot like a rat. Yappa yappa yappa. All these people complaining about Spider-Man now being in the MCU and fighting Marvel villains and other Marvel characters showing up. I am sorry, but I totally disagree with you. I'm tired of this. We all saw what Spider-Man was twice. We had trilogies, or what was supposed to be like 4 movies for Tobey Maguire canceled, and what was supposed to be 3 movies at least, if not more, for Andrew Garfield canceled. That didn't work out. We now have something that is very successful that is beating out the pre-ticket sales for the one of the biggest movies of my lifetime. Like usually you don't have something like Avengers Endgame and then something else come and top it in your lifetime. That is happening in our lifetime with the same movie studio within like 3 years of each other. That is insane to me. And so again, Spoder, this is not to get at your comment. This is just something I've been seeing now, and I'm using your comment as a reason to like rant at stuff. But I'm just really tired of this. Like, I saw something today and it was like, what do you want to see in the next Spider-Man trilogy? And it was like, no Marvel characters. And it's like, stop. If they did that, you would be like, this doesn't even feel like an MCU movie. And So anyone complaining, you just don't need to be here. That's fine. Do, 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 do. Euphoria, I can't like fully recommend it for anyone that is under 18 years old or who is sensitive to, not like sensitive, but like not, there's a lot of how do I want to put this? There's a lot of really deep and disturbing topics in Euphoria that are not for like the lighthearted, I would say, if you're not like accustomed to watching stuff in there. But the artistry of that show is just absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend it to anyone who would be comfortable watching it. I just can't like fully recommend it to anyone else. One second. Okay, funny you asked this because I watched a Drew Gooden video today about Community versus Arrested Development and how both of them like ended up being revivals and that sort of thing. So I really want to watch it. I'm also a huge Rick and Morty fan, and Dan Harmon created Community and was the head writer for at least the first 3 seasons. So I really want to watch it. And who do you think The Watch and Hawkeye belongs to? I was thinking about that. I'm wondering if The Watch is somehow. I'm wondering if could The Watch, hear me out here, could The Watch potentially be something that they're gonna retcon in of like it used to belong to Kingpin, but they like captured it in some like unseen Budapest type story? Could it be that, or could it be? I'm wondering if they've used magic. This is a really big leap, but magic to like make one of the dials to go through the quantum realm in Endgame look like just a regular watch. I don't know. Those would be my 2 theories. Those are both great questions. Yes, I'll be watching Community. The number one thing I'm excited for Christmas break is to read books and watch TV shows and movies and just binge, because binge watching has lost it's the last time I binged something. Okay, to be fair, I did just binge watch season 2 of You. And now I'm on season 3, but the last time I fully binged something was like Bridgerton at the beginning of this year. So yeah. Oh, Max, I'm sure the movie will be worth it. I'm so sorry you had to wait up that late, but that's exactly why I didn't get tickets, is because I just decided, I was like, you know what? It's either gonna happen or it won't for me, and I'm just not gonna try it now. Plus, the theater I would be going to see it anyways was not selling tickets, so it was kind of like, okay, well, and the one time I tried to get on Fandango, it did not load. So I was like, this is not worth my time. Have I seen Encanto yet? Unfortunately, no. I went to a movie screening the other week and I got out late and was hungry. So I went to McDonald's, got an Encanto toy. So I do have this. She's awesome. I actually really struggled to like figure out how it worked. There are these donkeys because she's super strong, is like her power, or not her power, but her like special ability. You're supposed to be able to balance it. Now I did it super easy, but it comes off. I don't know how this is child's toy because I'm 21 years old and could not figure out how to make it work. Maybe that just says more about me than the children that should operate it. I really want to see it. I've seen like it's good, not the best, but I think some people go in, and this is gonna make me sound like a hypocrite. I always say that just because it's for children doesn't mean it can just be bad. You shouldn't allow it to be bad. But I also feel like people go into movies like, I don't know if it was just a joke that I was not in on and was not privy to, but like, did anyone really expect the Clifford movie to be anything but like a children's movie? Because I certainly didn't. And like, I get where people with like Pixar movies, they've long been established to be both for adults and children alike with like hidden humor. But I just kind of feel like, anyways, no, I haven't seen Encanto. Sorry, my answers are so long-winded today. I have not seen Encanto. I really want to go see it. I just have not had the time as of late. And also, I have been really blessed lately to go see a lot of early screenings of movies and be sent screeners of movies. And so, like, when I joked before that, like, anytime I made a YouTube video or a live or talked to someone on YouTube or a collab, my list would just increase, my watch list. Now I actually, like, physically own probably 20 movies. I just don't know when I'm going to be able to watch. So I am going to get around to an Encanto is definitely high up there. It just looks beautiful, so I just want to see it. Am I excited for Book of Boba Fett? Would I rather have unpopular opinion? I would rather have season 3 of The Mandalorian, just because, and this is where I like Star Wars a lot, but I know I'm a Marvel person because I just know I'm gonna have to like learn more for Boba Fett that I don't really know. Like I didn't really this is embarrassing to admit. I really had to have it explained to me how Boba Fett and Jango Fett were different than one another, and then how he's still the father of all the clones, but then he has like one independent child. Anyways, I get it now. I get all of that stuff. Or Boba is Jango's child, right? Yes, that's correct. I would rather have Mandalorian season 3. Grogu, I love him, and I really like Pedro Pascal, and I think he's incredible as the Mandalorian or Din Djarin. And so I'm very excited for Book of Boba Fett because it's the same world. I really have been liking anti-hero stuff lately. Me just being so quirky, liking anti-hero stuff, as most people probably already do. But so I think it'll be fun to see that. And I know it's going to be the same production quality. So I'm definitely excited for it. I just am if I could take my pick, I would do that. American Animals is a high story and a true story starring I love me a good true story based on a true story biopic. I will have to check that out. Alex, I really want to see a period piece MCU movie once again, like First Avenger, but set in the 1960s, and Marvel Comics was very popular in the 60s, and hopefully we get that soon. They could totally do that with, I don't know what other characters they would be able to pull like that. I mean, to be fair, Captain Marvel is kind of a period piece. It does take place partially in space, obviously, so it doesn't really feel like the 90s necessarily. But I think that would be cool. That would be really cool. I mean, we sort of got that with Wanda and I keep thinking of that one shot in the She-Hulk trailer of her and Bruce in that like 60s, 70s style. I keep thinking about that. I can't stop thinking about that. So I'm really excited about that. What camera do I use? This is a Canon EOS M350. No, not. I don't think it's a 350. I think it's M50. No, I think it is an M350. That is so bad. It's technically my boyfriend's camera, and then I have a Canon EOS 80D that I use. Sorry, I just saw my like I have my YouTube like live stats over here, and I just saw how close I got to that camera. That's so uncomfy. Sorry, that was so weird. Anyways, I use Canon. I'm a big Canon fan. I know that Sony cameras everyone likes more. I just happen to like Canon a little bit better. And I used to use my 80D religiously for YouTube videos. And then when this camera, when I got this camera, it's a lot lighter, and so it fits on my tripod a little bit better. It doesn't fall over, and it's a little bit better for video. It also has 4K quality that I can do. I don't really use it because it's a pain to import and export, and I'll be honest, no one really cares if the video is in 4K versus 1080p. I'll be honest, people have not really switched to that on YouTube yet, anyways. And so, I use this one for videos now. But and then I just have the kit lens that comes with it. I would love someday to switch to my um my I'm forgetting all my camera terms. This is embarrassing for me. Truthfully embarrassing. Um, I have a different lens. I have a pancake lens that has a really nice blur. It has a much lower aperture, and that means I can get the background to be a lot blurrier, and it's great for photography. But I would love to use it in videos because it would just look so crisp. But I don't think it would work in this setup because it's a wide frame lens. I would be smushed close to the camera if that makes sense. But Kelly, I'm your biggest fan. So also, if you're still watching this, I'm sorry I forgot to reply to your text last night. I crashed. Let's see. Do I like the Creed movies? I love the Creed movies, okay? Creed 1. Sylvester Stallone should have won the Oscar. And I really like Creed 2 for the fanfare that it allows. Because who wouldn't want to see him fight his father's sons, his father's killer's son? Like amazing, amazing. Poetic justice, if you ask me. I sound like I'm using a joking voice, but I love all the Rocky movies and I really do love the Creed movies. The soundtrack, the Runnin' song, I believe from Creed 2. Oh my gosh, that song gets me like like jacked, like I lift weights at the gym and I'm just like as if I lifted weights. I do not. Do you see these little like T-Rex arms? Nope. Do I like Game of Thrones? I love Game of Thrones. I've been trying to fill a Game of Thrones sized void in my heart for the past 9 months. Um I read like tons of fantasy books now because I'm like I just need something that is Game of Thrones-esque. And I just nothing will be better than that. I just fear for the rest of my life. I fear I've peaked. I fear I'll never watch anything better than Game of Thrones. Thoughts on Tenet? Loved it. It was great. I know a couple people took him a couple times around. I've only seen it once. I thought it was fantastic. I do this thing whenever I see a Christopher Nolan movie where I try to be like, can I can I figure out a plot hole in Christopher Nolan's movie? And I'll just confuse myself further, and then I'll like just re-look at like someone explain the movie, and I'm like, nah, it makes sense. I just um do I watch Grace Randolph? Okay, I'm late to like the film Twitter scene and knowing who all is like the big players on film YouTube because like I have my community and I know who's like the top dogs and all the power players in our little film community. But there's obviously people who have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views that I'm trying to like kind of make myself acquainted with. I have heard not the best things about Grace Randolph. Personally, I can't vouch for any of them because I haven't factually been around for a lot of them, but I don't watch her um because of things I've heard just specifically in the realm of spoilers that I kind of want to avoid. Obviously, I'm not going to like block anyone or anything to avoid spoilers. I don't even like block hashtags to avoid spoilers. I just if someone is known to give out spoilers, I'm probably not going to follow them. There is also an individual who I forget the name of. It's not Grace Randolph, but they are a film critic who saw Eternals and spoiled the after credit scene, and that pissed me off so much. That is it. I need to watch About Time. The amount of and please no one take this the wrong way. The amount of guys who say they love this movie so much makes me like, how have I not seen this? Because I there are really, really bad. I love rom-coms, and I even love some of the worst rom-coms, but I think there are some really, really well done ones that people appreciate, and obviously rom-coms can be for anyone, but they're obviously targeted towards women slightly more, and so I always find it fascinating when there's one that, like, a lot of guys like, and that's why I always say to people, like, "Watch Crazy Stupid Love." It's a rom-com from the guy's perspective, I feel like, and so, yeah, I definitely need to watch it. I think Rachel McAdams is fantastic. Whoever, Cassidy, I think, asked about my favorite MCU love interest earlier. Love Christine from Doctor Strange. I love her. I like their like dynamic. So I'm that's definitely on my watch list, Ben. I promise it is. How old am I? I'm 21 years old. I will be 22 in a mere short few weeks. Have I seen any of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies? No, I have not even seen Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman. I did read some Superman comics back in high school, and I ended up liking him a lot more than Batman. But uh not still, it's still DC. I'm still not that connected with the characters. I don't know why. I just am not. What are some good rom-coms? Okay, number one rom-com I tell everyone to watch, especially if they like don't necessarily like rom-coms or chick flicks. Crazy Stupid Love, 100%. When Harry Met Sally, it is completely grossly under describing it by calling it a rom-com, but it is by definition technically a rom-com. I'll put this one out here because I can explain it well. Bridget Jones's Diary, if you have some understanding for familiarity with or or just sort of like a fondness for British humor, Bridget Jones's Diary and the entire Bridget Jones trilogy. So Bridget Jones's Diary, something like On the Edge or something, whatever. And then the third one is Bridget Jones's Baby. I love those movies. I have family members that are British, and so I just the understanding as a woman to watch a movie about like a woman trying her best to like get a job and be independent, but she also wants to get married, but she's tired of the pressures of people asking her to get married, and she's like concerned about her weight, but she's also like trying to be confident. Like, it is just so funny, and it's like I love it. And then if you have like a sensibility about or a familiarity with British humor, I think it just makes it so much better. So I would totally recommend those movies. Crazy Stupid Love is a little bit less of like a traditional rom-com. Fantastic. No, not Crazy Stupid Love. Crazy Rich Asians. Crazy Rich Asians is beautiful movie. Stunning, amazing. The book is like better and worse in different ways. So they're a great like pairing if you just loved the movie and want more, go read the book. That's what I did since I still have not heard anything about the second or the third one, them making those into movies. So Warner, get your stuff together, please. I would like to see China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems on screens near me. Other rom-coms, The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. He has to pretend to be her husband so she can get a green card. He plays like he's like her assistant, and she's a book publisher or editor. And to not be fired, he like illegally poses as her husband. And then we have what other rom-coms? Oh, I was gonna list off several of them. Okay, kind of love. Oh my gosh. Friends with Benefits, fantastic movie. And then that's all the ones I can think of, I guess, for now. I don't know. I really love rom-coms. I like really love rom-coms. So, what movie experience, either streaming or in theaters, did you have a really great experience since the pandemic or before? Before, the best theater experience by far, hands down, forever for the rest of my life, will be Avengers Endgame. Opening night in probably the biggest movie theater I'd ever been in my life. It was incredible. Since Tenet was great because it was the first movie I'd seen. I remember having like a breakdown about whether or not movie theaters would ever exist after the pandemic, because the AMC near me shut down, and I just thought movie theaters were just gonna be done. I was like, that was when everyone was heralding Trolls World Tour as the movie that killed movie theaters, and I was a mess. I was a mess that I was never gonna go see a movie in theaters again. And this was like a year after I had seen the greatest movie experience of my life. So I think since then, Tenet was great because the sound was like so overwhelming, and it was just, I was just glued to my seat just the whole time. But I would say I really enjoyed. I don't know that I've had a theater experience that memorable since then. Yeah, I guess I haven't. Trying to think if there's anything this summer. Black Widow was the excitement I had for the end credit scene and the love I had for that movie all throughout it. I think I would give it to that, I guess. That or Tenet. Okay, hot take, kind of love Pixels. Kind of love that movie. Probably my favorite Adam Sandler movie, if I'm being honest. My most anticipated MCU project for 2022, probably Thor: Love and Thunder or She-Hulk, I think. Um Yeah, Spoder, you're really right with them taking on X-Men and potentially the Defenders slash the Netflix properties. I think they've got a lot going for them. I personally do really like the comedy. I did rewatch Hawkeye episodes 1 and 2 with my boyfriend a couple nights ago, and I think there were a couple times where like he pointed out that the humor was a little cringy, and I could admit that yeah, maybe it was, but I also like kind of liked it. Like I don't know. I like when things can be a little kitschy or intended for fans. Like, to kinda just I don't know. I like the humor. I like the humor. Honestly, I think the thing that was a little cringy was there's something about Kate Bishop when she fights the Tracksuit Mafia when they come into the auction that is just it doesn't feel right, and it's I like that the camera is pulled back more, and I like that it's not just, like, in the action, and not to sound like a boomer, but I like that it's pulled out a little bit more, but then it made some of the choreography feel a little I don't know, and then there's this one part where she's, like has a Black Widow move where she's, like, crushing this guy, like, with her legs, and you hear, like, bones crunching, but I'm not really sure what bones would be crunching. So it's anyways. Um, yeah, Alex, you're so right. That is crazy because seeing No Way Home, I just don't know that I'll feel the same way about No Way Home as I did about Endgame. Because I just don't think I'm gonna cry as many times in No Way Home, or cheer as loud. But um, let's see. What are my theories about Jack being sus? My theories are that Jack in the comics is swordsman. I think he is somehow trying to marry Eleanor for money. I mean, I'm pretty sure he killed Armand, and then um I think he's somehow trying to I don't know exactly what his motives are, but he's up to no good, quite honestly. You know? Um let's see. I don't think I if I give the impression that I thought Raimi fans are toxic, definitely not what I was saying. More so just meant that like I think there's people who are like really just not now they're turning on the MCU being a part of Spider-Man and Tom Holland Spider-Man and I don't honestly think Spider-Man 3 is horrible. Like I think it has some of the best moments of the trilogy in it. Um it just tried to do a lot and didn't really conclude much. Like, 2 of your villains just sorta don't really wanna be bad guys anyways, like, Eddie Brock as Venom, which is nowhere near as good as Tom Hardy in Venom's relationship, um, he just sort of I'm sinking down. Is my chair up high enough? Hold on. I'm so distracted. Um, nope, it just shrunk down. I feel like he just sort of gives well, no, they trap him. He sort of gives up, and then Sandman is just kinda done. And then he's fighting 3 bad guys, right? Who's the 3rd bad guy? And then Green Goblin is whatever. Anyways, I think it has some of the good elements of best elements of the 3, but anyways, I don't think they're toxic. I just think there's some people right now on the internet, regardless of what they're fans of, and oh, okay. What you rock fan? I'm seeing your updated one here. So apologies there. I just wanted to clarify. That's not what I was saying. Um that sort of thing. My favorite Disney animated classic film is Beauty and the Beast, easily. I love it. I think I would say that is like my favorite movie of all time, other than the fact that it's like, okay, but I really love La La Land. I think La La Land is like what I think is one of the best movies ever made and favorite, and that just kind of goes together. But I do feel that is true about Beauty and the Beast. Absolutely amazing. Any ideas for who could direct the college trilogy of MCU Spideys? I don't know. I personally really liked um is Mark Webb the guy that directed it, or was who directed the Spider-Man ones? Let me see. Homecoming director. John Watts. I like the direction of the Spider-Man trilogy, so I wouldn't be mad if it stayed the same. Um, you know who I think could be great, who I think was used in an earlier MCU film that could really be used now in this would be Shane Black, who did Iron Man 3, but he also did if I'm thinking of the right person, he also did The Nice Guys. And I feel like the combined humor of him already being an MCU guy with The Nice Guys kind of humor might, obviously not as, maybe like it won't be tracing down a murderer or that sort of thing, but um let's see. Ava says, I know you've mentioned you want to be a TV writer. What would you say to anyone interested in something similar? I think the things that I would say, obviously, like I've never written a TV show. I've never sold a TV show. I've never been a part of a writer's room. I've never even been like an assistant to a writer. I think the best thing you can do is read screenplays and watch TV shows, and specifically pick shows you know well, and try to either read the screenplay of like the pilot or a specific episode. Usually the pilots are the easiest to get, and go kind of note by note and see like what changed or how stuff was executed, so you can understand like, oh, this is what a slug line looks like, or this is how much scene description they needed for this scene, or that sort of thing. Like I did this with I believe the pilot for This Is Us and also 30 Rock, just to kind of see what the differences are. Now, the hard part is like if you're counting the differences, a pilot is written to literally like be filmed and then the show is picked up later by a network. Stuff's different with streaming now, but I would say reading those, I would say get yourself familiar with screenplay format. I would suggest reading Save the Cat, and do not read Sid Field's book. Or if you really feel like you're going to be forced to read Sid Field's book, get it and read the like first couple pages of each chapter where he actually teaches you something. And then if you need examples, keep reading. I just felt like his book was really redundant, and then it wasn't anything new. He just uses the examples of like Chinatown and American Beauty and all this stuff, and he just keeps like using his examples. So I don't find him the most helpful. I would also say look up television history, understand the way things, why it's formatted the way it is, why are there 22 episodes of some seasons, like kind of just get yourself familiar with the lingo of television, like bottle episodes, like what is that, or how is a writing room format. Sorry, this is like a lot of random stuff, but the last thing I would say is like watch, and I can't even say I'm the best at this, watch a lot of TV. Don't necessarily have to watch everything. Now, like if there's a show you start, like say you start The Sopranos and you love it and you want to keep watching, that's heralded as one of like the best shows of all time. By all means, do that. But like if you feel like, oh, I really don't want to watch The Sopranos, maybe just watch like 1 or 2 episodes of it to get a vibe of what the show is like, so you can familiarize yourself with it, and then watch other stuff after that. I hope that was helpful. That was a lot. I think just once you start to kind of get into screenwriting or like learning the format of things, I think you can kind of find you start to do it, and then you find your weaknesses, and then you find like a new version of the 3-act structure or Dan Harmon's story circle, to like name another example, or something like that, and you're like, oh, that works better for me than this, and then you sort of adapt like the way you approach writing and stuff like that. Again, I'm not a professional, literally have just taken some classes on it. Can't even say like I'm like that good necessarily. I just feel like I think I am a good writer. I just writing screenplays is a lot different than writing like an essay or a TV script. So hopefully that answered your question, Ava. I apologize if it was really long-winded and did not think. I think The Kingsman will be good. I don't think it will be necessarily great, to be honest. I think it's just going to be, I don't think it's going to be, the problem is it's going to appeal the target audience of the King's Man is not the target audience for the King's Men. And that's kind of confusing because the King's Man as opposed to Kingsman, if it's a period piece, is it still going to have the same level of humor as Kingsman? I feel like people are going to go in thinking, oh, it's a period piece. And then a bunch of older individuals are going to be very confused by the humor, and younger individuals are going to be like, didn't really work with the period piece. That is my opinion. Do I collect movies or do I just use streaming? As Steven asks. I do collect movies. Below me, well, nope, sorry, on this side, you're not going to be able to see them. So I don't know why I'm even doing this. I have all of my Blu-rays. I have a couple of my video games down there actually too, but I have a pretty decent movie collection. This summer I was pretty set on building it anytime I went to like Goodwill and stuff, and this summer I got my first 2 Criterions, but now I don't, there's just so many in my collection I've never seen. Like that's why I can't even necessarily say I collect them, because for a while I was just like, well, I don't know if this is going to be on streaming, so if I see the Blu-ray for $2 at Goodwill, I'm going to get it. And I'm glad I have a collection, because I do feel like there may very well come a day where I cannot afford to pay for all these streaming services and I just have to quit all of them. And so I'm glad that I have the collection that I do. I definitely don't I get where people come from in the physical media side of things and like really being on board with that. And I have always been someone that kind of likes a little bit more of like tangible things, or like, or having my own copy of it to know like it's never going to disappear from me. Or they like, no company can just say all of a sudden like, I'm not going to recognize the fact that you paid $15 for the proposal on iTunes or something. Like, nope, I own it. Like, you can't do that to me. But at the same time, I do use streaming most of the time. Like, if I have a movie on DVD and it's on Netflix, I'm gonna watch it on Netflix. Doesn't change that. So, I don't really actively collect them anymore. I don't know. I think steelbooks are fun. I think it's kind of like a piece of art, but then you also get to watch it, and, like, at a certain point, you wanna collect all the movies you love, and then it's, "Oh, well, again, it's $2, like, that's no harm," and then eventually you just get to the point where there's so many you haven't watched that it's like, "Okay, I cannot cannot allow myself to go buy anymore." So yeah. What's up, Multiverse of Movies? Thank you for coming to the Q&A. Let's see. Ryan Coogler is a great director. I really do love him. I think he's fantastic. I think what's great about him is there's a story of how he did Fruitvale Station before he made either Black Panther or Creed. And when he was at, I believe it was Cannes, but I can't remember what. It was a film festival. And people were like, "What do you want to do next, Ryan? Like, what do you want to do next?" And he was like, "I'm going to make a movie about Creed's son." And people were like, "What?" And like, he just had a vision for this movie, and he knew, like, it's always inspiring to see people have these careers that succeed, but to know people who are younger in the industry who are like, I did this thing, I became successful, and now I know exactly what I want to do next. I think Damien Chazelle is another great example of this. Obviously, not as commercial as Ryan Coogler, nor is he like, has he done as much as Ryan Coogler, but I think being like, you set out to make something and then you know exactly what you're going to do next, I think that is super admirable. Okay, multiverse movies. I'll answer this for you since I knew you weren't here earlier. My favorite Spider-Man is Tom. Yep. Spoder, that was not even the that was not even the end credit scene I was speaking of. I was speaking of Sir Harry Styles was told to me, and I am a big One Direction fan, and so that would have been insane to experience in a theater not knowing what was going to happen. Have I seen any Godzilla movies? Nope. Nope, I don't plan to. I'm sure I will at some point, but I have not. Have you seen Almost Famous? Really excellent movie that I love, and Kate Hudson is excellent in it. I love Kate Hudson. Not seen Almost Famous, but I need to. I also know Billy Crudup is in the movie, and I really love Billy Crudup. Have I ever watched Doctor Who? Oh man. I love Doctor Who in middle school. The 11th Doctor is my favorite. Matt James, I love him. I'm so excited I still haven't watched Last Night in Soho, but I'm so excited to see him in Morbius and so excited to see him in the House of the Dragon. Super excited. And then but yeah, I was a huge fan. I had a sonic screwdriver toothbrush. If you know, you know. And I dressed up as the 11th Doctor for Halloween one year. Yeah, one day, again, I say this all the time when, like, I don't want to say past fandoms, but like I don't watch Doctor Who anymore. I stopped when the 12th Doctor came. I just did not connect to Peter Capaldi. I apologize to that man, but I did not connect with him. And so I stopped watching the show, but I watched 9, 10, 11 all the way through, and I also have watched like random episodes from earlier Doctors. But whenever a like former fandom of mine gets brought up, I say, someday I'll show you guys my Tumblr account and my all my fan stuff and show you how truly into this I was. And the day is coming soon, I think, that I will have to reveal that. But yeah, no, I used to love Doctor Who. Again, my British roots, that is how I connect to my heritage. My favorite rom-com is Hobbs and Shaw. That's hilarious. Yeah, I love a good rom-com. Okay, 123 Rock fan says, personally don't get the hype for All Too Well short film. Taylor's original lyrics is really the only descriptive things we need for the story. Here's how I see it. I see Taylor Swift as an incredibly I've never been a Taylor Swift fan. I've come up with the term, let me coin it, Taylor Swift neutral. I like her music. I think she's creatively brilliant. I've been to a concert of hers. It was fantastic. She made every seat in that stadium like so worth its money because she set up her design, or her and her team designed it so that she was on the main stage the whole time. So obviously the people who sit up front like have the best tickets for most of the show, but then she gets up and goes like on a platform around the stadium, and as she's moving, she's like playing a song. So she's on almost like, imagine like a ski lift or something, like there's just like, or I don't know, just like a, that's the best thing I come up with, is a ski lift type, almost like hot air balloon looking thing. And she just travels around and she's playing a song in front of everyone. So everyone had a song where Taylor Swift was, 50 feet in the air or whatever she was, singing to you a song. And it was fantastic. Just her and her guitar. She was incredible. And I think she's a fantastic businesswoman, and she knows her own branding, and the woman understands symbolism. Okay. We should be studying Taylor Swift in school for symbolism. However, I do agree that I think sometimes people in our society, I am definitely this person, just not with Taylor Swift, can become so like anything this person does or makes is gold, and this person is like a god to me. And I don't think that's healthy behavior, but we all do it to some extent. And that's just the way our society has been set up to become fanishly obsessed with someone. However, I thought the short film was really great. I am not gonna like log it on. Did I log it on Letterboxd? I guess I did. Yeah, I'm a hypocrite. I logged it because it's like, to me, it's a short film. If anyone else made this but Taylor Swift, I would consider it a short film that I watched. So why not do it because it's Taylor Swift? It's not the same as a music video necessarily. Like, I guess it sort of is, but because she made a 10-minute version of the song that feels intentionally like it was made to go with this short film, it's cool. And also, like, I've talked to several like people who are more Taylor Swift fans than I am, or deeper into into being a fan of Taylor Swift, and they've told me about the way they think this is setting up future albums or future songs, or referencing potentially a book that she's going to write in 2 years, since 13 years from when her and Jake Gyllenhaal dated would be in 2 years from now. I do think the one thing is, like, I don't love the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal is getting hate, but I also, like, in the same ways I don't like that people are like cultishly following Beyonce or Taylor Swift, or who's someone I like cultishly following, I don't know, Tom Holland or something. Like, I think it's wrong to like, it's almost like you cannot, what do I want to say here? Because I don't want to say something I'm not going to mean or I'm going to regret. But like, people want to say we live in cancel culture. I agree. I think cancel culture is horrible. I don't think it should exist. I think I believe in things are going to be taken care of. And but the reason we have cancel culture is because we also have an overly fanish culture, and we also have a culture where it is okay to put people up on pedestals. And so if you put people up on pedestals, you are going to tear them down. Like that is just what happens with leaders and just anybody. Like for example, again, I was watching a lot of Drew Gooden today, and I watched Drew Gooden's video on the D'Amelio show and how like people you put Dixie and Charlie, these two teenage girls, on a pedestal just so you can tear them down for being a brat or not knowing how to handle fame or being rich or complaining about wanting a normal life. Like the same people that made them famous are the people who are tearing them down. And I think when it comes to All Too Well, I think you see both of that. I think you see people overly praising it for being like the best thing ever, and you see people who are like tearing down Jake Gyllenhaal because they're not just Taylor Swift fans, but people would be like, oh, even jokingly, like in context. So like I hate to see that in the sense that like I think it's all jumbled into one thing, and I guess I use the film. However, I thought Sadie Sink was incredible in it. I'd never seen her in another thing other than Stranger Things. I love Dylan O'Brien, so I loved him in that. And I personally think Taylor Swift has the money and she's not hurting anyone, and she is making a film about her own personal experiences just the same way anyone else did. I mean, Sophia Ford Coppola made Lost in Translation and Spike Jonze made Her. These are movies, like people write about their lives and make things. And I don't know when in our popular culture we decided that Taylor Swift was the only one who wasn't allowed to write about romance, or it's weird when she does it. But anyways, 123 Rock fan, again, not at all an attack on you for not liking it. I think you don't have to like it. I personally did. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun that she's experimenting with these more different forms of creative medium, and so it was great. And Cassidy seems to say a similar thing. I agree. I think Sadie did a great job. And I think, yeah, I think there are hardcore Swifties who are perfectly reasonable people. I just think there are, and I think even some of the people that might be sending hate towards Jake Gyllenhaal's way, or even our collective joking about, oh, Jake Gyllenhaal is shaking in his boots now. Like, I think it's just like things happen in people's personal relationships, even though they're celebrities. And again, we can't expect Taylor Swift to handle it perfectly. We can't expect Jake Gyllenhaal. Anyways, this was a tangent I did not need to get on. No one cares. All of you are leaving. Apologies. But yeah, Cassidy, have a great night. Thank you so much for being at the stream. I loved you being here, and I hope you have a great night. Hello, SPC Bird. Welcome to the chat. I'm doing great. I'm losing my voice because I'm not drinking water, so give me 1 second. Most anticipated Star Wars project. If Taika Waititi is still doing his Star Wars movie, then that, because I want to know what that's going to look like. Otherwise, I would say Mandalorian season 3. Do I agree that Christmas has the best music and the best movies? I would say most of what I would consider the best movies are not Christmas movies, but I do think that there's so many bad Christmas movies. But there's a lot of really good ones. I would say Christmas music, I think, is the best, but then again, like it's not like they're the absolute best songs or the most like complex melodies and stuff. I think they're just the best because obviously like it reminds me of a time of year being with my family and doing a lot of fun things and like being in a good spirit and stuff. So I think it's the best for imbuing people or generating a general vibe. But I don't, sorry, I'm like not in the center. I swivel this chair too much. But I don't think it's like the best movies and music overall. Damien Chazelle directing a Spider-Man movie would just be like a lot. And then Rhys Thomas would be, what else has Rhys Thomas done other than documentary now? Is this not coming up correctly on my like The thing is, like, Rhys Thomas isn't doing, oh, I'm so dumb. He's literally the executive producer of Hawkeye. I'm an idiot. I think he would be good for it, definitely. I think the vibes of Hawkeye would match up with the vibes of Spider-Man, or I would expect for a Spider-Man movie, um, as much as, like, much better than any of the other shows that we've seen so far. I hardcore agree with this, WODTV. I love Bohemian Rhapsody. Anyone that hates that can we can chat about it. Like, again, not me talking about England this whole time. I am American, to clarify. I know there's a French flag behind me. And I know I'm talking about England a lot, but I am a hardcore, love my country so much. But yeah, I love Queen. I love Bohemian Rhapsody. I love Rami Malek. So whatever, people can complain about it. They don't like it. I don't care. I love it more than enough for all of us. With your love of films, do I play video games at all? Some have vanilla, no stories aren't really engaging. So this is something I got really into over the course of the pandemic. I think there was, over the course of 2020, I played a lot of video games. My boyfriend got a Nintendo Switch, so we played that a lot. For Christmas last year, I got my Xbox, and so I started to play video games before having all of that free time. I really only played The Sims 3, which I've played all of my life, and, like, I've always loved, like, that and Zoo Tycoon or, like, Wii and stuff, but I always saw video games as, like, something I did when I had literally nothing else to do, and then over 2020 and then into this year, I've realized, like, sometimes, like, I really need to still make, like, intentional time to, like, play video games, and, like, I do like stories. Like, I'm working my way through the Avengers game on console, which I really love. Like, I love the story with Kamala Khan there. That's where I'm really interested to see Miss Marvel, because the story they have for her in the show is fantastic. Um, so I do play video games. I just wouldn't say, like, last time I played a video game was last Friday. I played Sims. I haven't played Animal Crossing in a while. Like, I think, again, I'm bad with balance. I get stressed about school, and so I need to, like, focus on that. And yeah, but I do play video games. I definitely there's some video games that I like that they don't have as much story, and then there's definitely some that I do appreciate the story. I just kind of have to be in the mode. I also play Immortals Phoenix Rising. And what else I play on my Switch? Pokemon. Sword and Shield. And that. And then on my phone, I do still play Disney Magic Kingdoms. If you've been here for a while, you would know me. You would have heard me talk about that a lot. Alex, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for dropping by the stream. I'm excited if you do start your YouTube channel, and I hope you enjoy the Hawkeye episode 3 and my review of it tomorrow when you get a chance to watch it. Yeah, there were two girls sitting next to me who very much did not know that Harry Styles was going to be in there, and they had a time. So that put a smile on my face. But yeah. Can you rank the Harry Potter movies? Let me think. I think I would put, honestly, I would put 6, then Deathly Hallows Part 2, then I would put, so Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows Part 2, then I would put Prisoner of Azkaban, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Deathly Hallows Part 1. This is going down the list. And then I would put Order of the Phoenix and then Goblet of Fire. So it would go, yeah, replay it back. I can't do that again. There's too many of them. But yo, Jack is here. Jack, welcome to the stream. I hope you had a great day, buddy. We'll talk soon. Would I consider myself a Broadway fan? I definitely really have an appreciation for musical theater, and I really appreciate specific Broadway plays, but I'm not, like, a musical fan in the sense that, like, just because it's a musical, I'm excited about it, and I don't watch, like, a ton of Broadway plays. I've seen Wicked. I watched Hamilton on Disney Plus as Lin-Manuel Miranda it to be viewed. As Lin-Manuel Miranda intended for it to be viewed. There we go. Got that correct. And I've seen the Broadway production of The Lion King, which is so much better than the live action version, as everyone would argue. But I kind of think it's better than the first one. Yeah. So I would say no, I'm not a fan, but I'm not like a hater by any means. Brandon's back. Yes, I'm still here. I probably need to get off and eat dinner soon because I'm gonna be streaming again in a couple hours. But what is something that about Marvel that annoys me? I think, and this is something I think I've just I mean, there's actually like a lot. I just don't talk about it that much. Maybe that'd be a good video. Things about Marvel that annoy me. I think the number one thing that's been prevalent lately is how late in the game Marvel really did come around to in just like allowing Natasha specifically to have progression as a character. Um Obviously you want to build economically as a business. You want to build this movie franchise around the characters that people like the most, that have the most name recognition as far as the actor, that do the best in the box office. And I understand that like Natasha is really only a supporting character in Iron Man 2, and then she like is technically a character, like a main character in the Avengers, but she's still a little bit like you're still just getting to know her. And so it's really not until Captain America Winter Soldier I would argue that like she's like then you know who she is. Like you've heard her backstory and like you can appreciate her as much. And so I think that annoys me a little bit. I think it also annoys me that I do think we're getting to a phase where I'm not 100% sure how intentional things are being, and by what I mean is, like, the planning of the timeline, when certain movies are supposed to be coming out, the intentionality of certain directors and writers being attached to certain projects, because I've seen with a lot of Phase 4, obviously, no one could have predicted that 2020 was gonna be what it was, and with the Marvel show supposed to be launching that year, only a few couple months after, um, Disney Plus had even launched, like, obviously they weren't ready for that. Obviously they weren't. Like, Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to come out first, if I remember correctly, in fall of 2020. That was the initial plan. Obviously, I get that they had to move that. But what worries me is stuff came out in an order that it wasn't supposed to. And what worries me is like how that's going to impact the storytelling and how certain things are going to be rewritten then and maybe not be as good because they've had to reshuffle it around and retcon things in. And like I feel like there was a really big grand plan after the Avengers. And they knew, and I would argue, they knew they were building. They may not have had the script and the plot for Thor Ragnarok and Infinity War and Endgame written. I'm sure they didn't. But I think from Avengers on, they had a plan. And my annoyance is that I feel like certain things are starting to go by the wayside. The number one thing, and this is nothing against Gemma Chan. I love Gemma Chan. I mean, I didn't like her as Cersei, but I love her as an actress. She has already been in a Marvel movie before, and I don't think she's the first one to happen. She was in Captain Marvel, but I think there's just a little bit of attention to detail that it's like they can still nip it in the bud and kind of fix it all, but I feel like I'm a little annoyed that there are certain things that seem to be like the attention to detail that used to be there is not being paid anymore. And so what annoys me is that at a certain point, I feel like the fans are going to be disserviced by that, and ultimately that's the people you have to cater to. Those were maybe a little bit weaker. I think the other things that just annoy me about Marvel are things like I don't know. Sometimes the way the fandom has divided itself anymore does bother me. And I know that's something that's like sounds so like, well, I've been here a long time. So like I can be annoyed at these people. But I see some people just getting angry at things. Like Marvel as the MCU fandom is so segmented that it's great because everyone can kind of have their own little space to like the things they like about the MCU. But it's annoying because then when those clash, there's like these inter-fandom enemies that aren't like, it's like we're not actually like we shouldn't actually be fighting about whether Wanda is going to be in a No Way Home reference or end credit scene. Like those are the things that kind of annoy me. So hopefully that answers your question, Brandon. I know you're not as like hardcore of like a Marvel person as I am. I know I am, but I definitely have my criticisms about it, and I would love to like go in depth about, excuse me, more of them in the future. Let's see. Thoughts on Universal monster movies? If you haven't seen them, I highly recommend them. My favorites are the original Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein. I don't think I've really ever watched any of them. I love a good Halloween movie. But I've never actually watched them. I would need to check them out. The fake deaths. So okay, I guess they're fake. I don't know. Like who would be fake? Loki and Vision? I guess Bucky. The thing is though, with the exception of, I think of it as like real time has gone by and story time has gone by. Like for Bucky, it's not like we thought Bucky was dead and then actually like later in the movie he was brought back. Like first Avenger came out late 2000s, early 2010s. We don't find out that Bucky is still alive until end credit scene of, I don't know, I don't remember what the end credit scene was. But we like years later, and it's been 70 story years, you know? I can see with Loki, but to me that's the nature of the character. Vision is probably the biggest one I have the issue with. Um, you know? So yeah. No, I did not get tickets for No Way Home. I didn't really try to though, so it's not like I missed them. Not like I tried and didn't get them. Thoughts on King the Conqueror? Love Jonathan Majors. Brilliant. He's brilliant. And I'm excited to learn more about the character. But I really like the variant of him that's in Loki. I know it'll be different in the future, but I'm really interested. Jonathan Majors is just great, and I don't want to say like, I feel like he, in his variant of Kane, he portrayed a little bit of comedy, a little bit of like laid backness and sarcastic wit. Like he was really good at that, and so I think it'd be really seeing different variants of him like in Ant-Man. Like I can see how they're gonna make that he can act that role, and then they'll make him more serious for a future movie. Like I really am liking the way that he's being set up. Next Marvel series, I would say She-Hulk. Yeah. I missed your hot take on Bohemian Rhapsody. I saw it. Sorry, we hadn't talked to him in a while. I get that it's disappointing to some people. I don't think it's necessarily a hot take. I know a lot of people really didn't like it. I know the movie was in a lot of development and production hell for a while, and so I get that a lot of people didn't necessarily love it, but yeah, listen, I get it. That's fine. I loved it. Who do I think bought Avengers Tower? The thing is, I don't think Tony Stark is so much of an idiot to sell it to someone, although he is kind of arrogant and could potentially sell it to someone. I would love if like the joke was that like Elon Musk bought it because Elon Musk was in Iron Man 2. So that would be funny. Or I would love for it not to be Fisk just for the sake that like, I don't know. I feel like it's like I want to see him tied into the series, but don't just like take over everything. I don't know. That's a great question. Who do I think bought Avengers Tower? I would love it to be like a secret hero. You know, someone who's like random. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like just some other person we haven't met yet. That would be kind of fun. But then maybe people would think that's cheap. But Brandon said that was a great answer, Sasha, regarding our Marvel annoyances, about film fandom in general. I don't like the gatekeeping. Like, it's the gatekeeping, it's the, like, my side, my opinion is better than yours, but anymore, it's not even like we're, like, informing each other about new information about the characters. People are just like, WandaVision is better than all these shows, and then somebody's like, no, Loki is better, and then someone's like, no, Hawkeye hasn't even come out yet, and it's better than all the other ones. And it's like, I see it with the shows more, and I think it's because people feel more emotionally attached to something they have to be committed to for 8 weeks. And I know there's a lot of people who are being drawn in by the shows and the nature of having Disney Plus than they are seeing all the movies. And I definitely don't think, obviously, in a perfect world, every Marvel MCU fan gets along, and with the exceptional, like, having civil discourse and differences, and, oh, this is my proof of, like, why this part of my fandom is validated, or this is why your opinion is validated, or blah blah blah, like having to bring evidence to the table, doing your own research and stuff. But like, I feel like anymore, I get it, it is impractical to expect every single person to ever watch a Marvel show or movie is going to have seen everything else that is just not the world we lived in, and that's perfectly fine. But I do think there's a lot of people that, like, don't have the respect for everything as a whole, and then go after other people who like something else more. Like, it's not even like they're going after people who hate the thing they like. They're going after other people for liking something else. And that's what I don't understand, because Marvel is so cohesive, and that's the beauty of it. And so I hate that it has to be that way. Um I'm probably going to get off this. I didn't realize I've been on here for almost 2 hours. So I'm probably going to wrap up these last comments and then hop off, go have dinner, go to bed for a little bit, and then I will still be doing my watch party. Do I like the awkward moment? Never seen it. Future of DC could be bright, could be hot garbage. Don't know. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is good. It validated that Coulson was still alive for me, even if there's like a workaround there. Never seen all of it. Would love to go back and watch more of it. My into musicals. I like musicals. I thought Tick Tick Boom was phenomenal, fantastic. But I don't get excited about something just because it's a musical. It has to be intriguing to me, and then if I like the music, obviously that adds to it. WandaVision is great. It is not, I do not agree that it's one of the best shows ever. I think of other shows that we talked about today, I don't think I mentioned Breaking Bad earlier. Breaking Bad, I think about Game of Thrones, sorry, I hit the mic. I think of Seinfeld. WandaVision is not better than any of those. It is not going to, I hate to upset anyone when it goes into like the grand scheme of things. If aliens came to Earth, they would not say, yes, WandaVision is the best show ever made or one of the best shows ever made. I think it's just a really, really awesome experiment, and I think it's super bold that Marvel did it. And even though they are the power players they are, people say all the time, like, oh, well, they have a formula. Well, they went very much against the formula, and they did a really great job, I think. So I think it's fantastic. I just do not think it's one of the best shows. Yeah, but isn't that the point of Kingpin, is that he is super rich? Like, I think he probably would be able to afford it. Yes, I would agree with that. 123 Rock fan. It is not just escapist entertainment. And I think there are a lot of people who have really committed themselves to being fans who add a lot to what Marvel has been able to become. And I think so much of the reason Marvel's been able to be successful is because they have in many ways listened to the fans, or actively observed fan communities online and stuff to like see how to adjust things. I think there being a lot more comic references in things now is a direct result of fan complaints that there weren't comic references at the early part of the MCU. Yes, Christian, my favorite movie is a musical, but that doesn't mean that, like, I was trying to explain it in, like, I like La La Land because of the acting and the directing and the writing, and I like the music too, but it's not like I am like diehard. Don't make me try to look dumb on stream, Christian. Tick Tick Boom was great. I liked In the Heights. I didn't see Dear Evan Hansen. I think West Side Story will be good. I mean, I hope a lot of people really like it. Not trying to not trying to crap on West Side Story by any means, but um yeah, but the other thing is like what condition is Stark Towers in? Because I don't know. Cuz it was he left like how many years back did he sell it too? Because they empty it, they moved to Avengers headquarters in Homecoming, which was 2017. Spider-Man Homecoming. Remember? That is Vulture is trying to intercept and steal the Avengers stuff there. Which I like that, like, again, great concept in Hawkeye because like they've done it before in the MCU, and I feel like they're like making it work there. And so how many years ago did he sell it? Is it Fisk? I don't know. It could be him. I don't know how much money Kingpin has. I don't know. He probably has stuff in offshore accounts, guys. Come on. All bad guys have the offshore accounts and they're not paying their taxes. So he's probably got a lot of money. What do I think about Frozen being the new musical? I think it's great. I'm going to love the concept of like Frozen technically happens in summer and then the snowstorm happens. And so that's going to be so cute that it's going to be their summer break and it's going to be at camp. I'm really excited. Soul was good. In my opinion, I think it was in the vein of Inside Out, but it wasn't as deep, I think, as Inside Out was, and it wasn't as profound, I felt like, as Inside Out was, but it was really sweet. It did make me cry. I did really like it. But I would choose Inside Out, I think. If I was going for a movie of that vibe and specifically a Pixar movie between the two, I would take Inside Out. Yes, Christian, I get it. I like a lot of musicals. People maybe were asking about Broadway musicals, Christian. Why are you bothering me? Do you have homework to do? Go do your homework. Don't bother me on stream. Yes, and High School Musical. I get it. Listen. Okay, fine. I like musicals. I'm just not going to run to the theater to go see something just cuz it's a musical. I do tend to very much like musicals, as has been pointed out so kindly by my boyfriend. Do I think Hamilton would have been I mean, Hamilton did make a lot of money. Like the show. Like those tickets were like tickets today with the off like not the same original cast. Tickets are ridiculously expensive for Hamilton. So I mean it came out in like 2016, or you're speaking about the filmed version? I honestly think it made the most amount of money it was going to make to a captive audience on streaming because people had to actively pay for the subscription service to see it. And yeah, so no, I don't think it would have. I think if asking people to go pay to go to a theater to go watch a musical versus people at home over a summer break watching it, I think it was a much smarter decision. Listen, I don't even read when I see so and so director doesn't like comic book movies. I like comic book movies and I like those directors and I don't really care what their opinion is. Their audience is clearly not comic book creators. They're clearly being asked the question because it became such a story when people asked Martin Scorsese about it and he made his comments. And like the thing is, when you're forced to be asked about something, you're going to answer differently than like if it came up naturally. And like I don't expect Ridley Scott or Martin Scorsese or Denis Villeneuve to like the MCU. But fundamentally the entertainment system is propped up by two sides: award and critically receptive films and films that audiences love. Audiences love superhero movies, critics love award movies, and like the thing that I think just at the end of the day frustrates me is like no one's asking Kevin Feige to go be like, "Well, what do you think of XYZ directors' movies? Do you think they're like stodgy and old and like boring?" No one's asking him that because no one cares. So I don't, again, not an attack on you asking the question, more an attack on like, why is this even something that we're asking other directors? Obviously, if they liked those movies, they would make those movies. they have enough clout to say, like, "Hi, Kevin Feige, like, wow, would really love to direct, like, your next, like, Blade movie. Like, would really love to just get into the nitty-gritty with the new Spider-Man trilogy." Like, it's just so dumb. Like, why are we asking people this? Like, anymore, it is so culturally normative to like nerdy things, like the MCU, like the DCEU, Star Wars, anything. Um, and that's fine if people don't like it, but I'm not gonna listen to them like shit on the thing that I like. I'm just not gonna do that. And I think it's dumb for reporters to put they're either trying to make themselves famous by being like, "Oh, I had the guts to ask Martin Scorsese what he thought about comic book movies." Um, and I think it's like it's not even a meaningful question because it's not even like you're asking like, "Do you dislike the fact that like a more interesting question would be to go to someone like a Steven Spielberg and be like, "Your movie Jaws basically invented the concept of saturation booking of like having a movie in all of these screens and all of these theaters at the same time and creating a blockbuster. What do you think about the way that blockbusters have now become the norm rather than the exception in the entertainment industry?" That would be an interesting question. That would be real interesting interview. Not, well, do you like the Marvel movies or no? Because no one wants to be asked that. No one wants to hear the response because it's always going to be the same thing. I've never seen one of those people come out and be like, "Yeah, they're really fun. I take my kids to them." Like, no. So, people, art interviewers, please stop asking critically acclaimed directors when you know what the answer is going to be, what they think of Marvel movies or comic book movies. Um Okay, guys, listen. I am tired, I'm hungry, and we've almost been at this for 2 hours, and I'm going to be streaming again. At 2:30 AM, I will be up for my Hawkeye episode 3 watch party. So please, I would love if you could join. If not, obviously, I get it. It's a weeknight. Totally understand if you can't. But I do want to say, anyone catching this on the replay or anyone that's been here tonight, thank you so, so much for stopping by the stream. I really appreciate all your guys' great questions and your comments, and I'm so thankful for all of you that come to these lives or just support the channel in any way, even if it's just watching the videos and not like engaging or anything like that, like comments or anything. If you did enjoy the stream and you're not already, please feel free to like it and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing all of you that can make it to the watch party at 2:30 in the morning in just a few short hours. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Wishing you all the best with finals and stuff, and don't let the Christmas stress get to any of you. It's the most wonderful time of the year, as the Lully song, and it's literally going to be December tomorrow, and I'm so excited about that. So all of you have a lovely night, and I will see you all very soon. Bye, y'all.